Hey, iCkEdMeL, thank you for joining me, and we're going to be talking about Amanda Towne. There is a lot to unpack. This Sunday, September 27th at 9 a.m., Pink Justice is going up to Fellsmere, Florida, and there's a location that they're going to be searching, and they need all hands on deck. So if you can go, I'll post a link down below with the information. Pretty much come prepared with a walking stick, long pants, maybe some bug spray, sunscreen, gloves. And if you can't do something that's like on the ground, they're also looking for people to volunteer to do check-ins, like name check-ins and checkouts. You could bring water and other supplies and amenities that people might need out there. Pink Justice, by the way, made some pretty big headway on the story because they actually found personal belongings of Amanda while they're out searching. We're going to get to that later, but I thought it was important to announce too that they actually do have a sponsor. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have chosen to donate a wide receiver Justin Watson autographed custom football, and they're going to be selling tickets out there for people that are interested in the football. Amanda Towne, 27 years old, Fellsmere, Florida.
Miss Towne has a recent picture
Yes,
that she'd like
I
to
do.
share with you, and you guys can take close-ups of that after the conference as well. That's the most recent picture we have of Amanda.
She worked as a bartender slash waitress, mother of three.
And they miss her. They miss her. I actually got to spend a day with her son. He's sad. He wants to know where his mom is.
She was reported to be last seen at the address of 13440 99th Street.
She was at a home, and I believe she left on foot, correct?
Now, that home, that house, the occupants are pretty important, so I think we should break down the people that lived there at the time. Nowherenews.com had a lot of great information, so I have to give them credit. I also went out and reached out to other people, but the household had Lynette, had Thomas. They were husband and wife. They had a son, Justin, also Daniel, which is Amanda's brother, and his girlfriend.
And how many children do you have?
I have two. I have Amanda, and I have her brother, who's just a year and a half younger than her. So I have two children.
And so Daniel was renting out a room in that place.
The last time Amanda Towne was seen was at her brother's residence, which is 13440 99th Street in Fellsmere.
And not to throw too many names at you, but just the interesting tidbit of information. So you have Lynette, you have the husband, Thomas. Well, he has a brother, Billy, who has a son, Robert. Amanda had a child with Robert, and he's the father of the oldest son to Amanda's child.
Well, her eldest is 12. We're trying to shelter the best that we can, only tell him little as possible to not upset him. The 5-year-old and the 4-year-old, they're really not quite really knowing what's going on, and I'm going to keep it that way as long as possible.
Billy and Robert didn't live there, but I just wanted to paint the familial tie. So in the household, we have Lynette, Thomas, Justin, Daniel, and his girlfriend. The people in that house, like Lynette, were Amanda's mother's friends while she was growing up. Okay, so that I guess there's some history there. I don't know all the details. That night I was told that Amanda and her boyfriend got into a fight. Amanda goes to the ER. She comes back to the house, the boyfriend's house, and in bed with the boyfriend was another man.
Her personality traits, she can be goofy at times. She's quick with a word back at you. If you say something to her, she can snap back quick. She's got a beautiful heart.
I don't know the details of the ER or what kind of injuries or what happened when they got into the initial fight. And when she came back, then she finds her boyfriend with another man. And supposedly an elderly lady takes her over to Lynette's house. I hear it's maybe 2 miles away. It's pretty close. But Amanda doesn't drive. Lynette, which is Justin's mother that lives in the residence, she spoke to tcpalm.com, and she said several things. One, that the son Justin was the last to see her. I also heard that supposedly he claimed to have given her a blanket and a pillow, and that she was supposed to go back, Amanda, to the boyfriend's house in the early morning hours. She left. It's about a half a mile south on North Hickory Street, and that they never saw her again. A couple of things to note about Lynette, and then we're going to get into Justin. But Lynette, when she spoke to tcpalm.com, which by the way, they refer to her here as Kirk, That's her last name. She stated that she's the aunt. I don't know if she said that or the TC Palm got it wrong, but she's not the aunt. On March 2nd was the last time that Amanda was seen. I hear that supposedly nobody was told, nobody in the family knew until 4 days later. The brother Daniel, I hear he didn't know that she was there, that she came by that night. The other thing that I noticed, a little off topic, but with Veronica's story, which by the way, if you haven't seen it, check out the links down below or up above. Go check out that story. But how fast police reacted in this story. March 6th, they're already doing a search for Amanda.
I can just say that we've searched a variety of areas out at Fellsmere using several different techniques. We've flown the area using our helicopter. We've had dogs on the ground. You know, any lead that comes into us, we follow up on. We've done a number of interviews in this case. Unfortunately, every lead that we've had in this case has not turned up Amanda.
Was a dive team also used in order to? We had fire EMS dive team out there assisting with this investigation. Yes.
Some of the things that Lynette said was she never disappeared like this, never more than a couple of days without contacting some member of her family. She stated she's like a daughter to us. Her oldest son spoke with Towne in the early morning hours before she left, Kirk said. She said Towne told her son she planned to walk back to her boyfriend's house, roughly a half a mile south on North Hickory Street. Kirk said the boyfriend said Towne never showed up. The other thing here that was interesting, this is the aunt that's not the aunt, claimed that Towne had issues in the past with substances and was moving from house to house of relatives in the area. Her children allegedly were placed in custody of another relative, and on Friday before she went missing, Kirk said that she had lost her job. Amanda lost her job. But let's get into Justin. Okay, there's a long history here that's important that we need to talk about. Nowherenews.com provided the information, as well as we're going to talk about the searches after this. But the first initial search, I hear when they searched his room, they found the ER papers that Amanda had gotten from the ER that night she went missing and got into an argument with her boyfriend. So Justin has several crimes against women. According to court records, Justin Ellis, 27, has served 2 one-year prison terms for felony battery by strangulation of 2 separate women. So on April 15, 2015, Ellis was arrested by Fort Pierce police and charged with aggravated battery and domestic battery by strangulation of his pregnant girlfriend, according to the police report. He later entered a plea on the latter charge and was sentenced to 1 year in St. Lucie County Jail. Ellis was also arrested in May 29, 2018 by the city of Melbourne police for attacking another girlfriend, according to police. He was charged with a felony domestic battery by strangulation. Seems like he has an MO. Felony battery, second offense, and obstructing justice by intimidating the victim. According to the arrest report, the woman said Ellis told her, "I'm not going back to jail, and if I do, it is going to be for a good reason by killing you and your kids." A jury found Ellis guilty on 1 count of domestic battery and 1 count of battery on May 16, 2019, and he was sentenced to 1 year in prison for each charge. He served them concurrently and at the time was credited 353 days for time served, according to court records. Let's get back to the search. There was the initial search where they found the papers in Justin's room, and on April 20th, Pink Justice on one of their searches actually found personal items belonging to Amanda.
What they recently found may be a game changer.
This is where we found it.
Erica says it was a search similar to this one that led them to new evidence along 141st Avenue near the canal, not too far from where she was last seen.
We had been searching and searching really hard, and to find something that actually belonged to her that was important, there's no words that day.
And the items were discovered off of 141 Avenue near C-54 Canal in the vicinity of 97th Street. It's reported that's about 1.5 miles from the Ellis home where Lynette, Thomas, Justin, Amanda's brother Daniel, and his girlfriend were staying, and the last time where Amanda was seen. On that April 20th date where Pink Justice found evidence, personal items from Amanda, that sparked a search by police investigators on April 24th, like a full thorough search of the property.
Detectives removed a number of items from the home where she was last seen alive back in March.
The Ellis home, including the surrounding properties, outbuildings, surrounding grounds. They removed items which included a mattress, a box spring, and impounded a light blue older model GMC Sierra pickup truck. The items that Pink Justice found at the canal, they're not allowed to say what they found.
But detectives are keeping that information secret. They instructed Erica not to reveal what they found because the investigation is still active.
And Flowers, which I believe may be an investigator or police, they said that they are searching all the items for DNA. They have several witnesses and several persons of interest. There was another report that stated detectives have interviewed several people whom they believe may have knowledge of Amanda's disappearance, but have not narrowed it down to a single person of interest. It's an ongoing investigation, she said. I can't say more, but I will say that some of the details we released early on about this case may no longer be accurate. Another interesting tidbit with regards to polygraph tests, right? Lynette and Thomas, I hear, allegedly failed the polygraphs, and Justin refused to take the polygraphs. Now, to get a little bit into the rumor and speculation, you guys comment down below, you tell me your thoughts, but I found this post on Reddit. Now, it seems like the original post was deleted, but there's interesting conversation that's being had here. Boopy says, without knowing much about these people at all, my mind instantly went to an overdose. Might land Justin in jail because, like you said, he's a known dealer with stashed around the house. So he may just have decided to dispose of the body, make it look like she wandered off. With the blood on the mattress, I guess till it gets tested, you can't even know if it's human. The cat story might come out true, or it might be someone else's blood perhaps. But if it's hers, then surely the suspicion falls on him, because I've had cysts from my ovaries removed and it bleeds from some time like a period, but they do not provide you with padding. There's also the possibility, I guess, that she could have bled through the mattress. Whoopi also said that the police might be holding off on any charges because they might be collecting or waiting on evidence to charge him with a much more serious crime. This other person posted, which I thought was interesting as well, after reading Justin's history of choking and physical with women and the fact that he is a dealer that had a crush on Amanda. I don't know anything about that. I'm really surprised police aren't breathing down his neck. If Amanda was at his house the night she disappeared and the clothes she was wearing when she went to his house were found later, that tells me that someone in that house did something to Amanda. His mother and father have not been forthcoming with the truth. Their only concern is protecting their son. Now, this last post I'm going to read to you guys, and I've seen several people speculating on this, that maybe it was an overdose. It really sounds like an overdose, IMO. If she was an addict, I'd imagine she wanted to do after being in the hospital most of the day. I'd also assume that she still had some from the hospital in her system. It is very possible that the medications interacted and she OD'd. You guys comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Another thing that I heard supposedly about the family is because Lynette has 3 sons. And so 2 of the sons, excluding Justin, one was convicted of being an offender. And the other one was assault. So the one guy's serving 40 years for doing the assault. These 2 guys, I also hear allegedly that when they were kids, they were inappropriately. So there was things going on with their kids too. Basically, it seems like a pretty messed up family. And so yeah, I really wanted to join Pink Justice on Sunday, but I have nobody to watch my daughter. So unfortunately, I can't make it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit like, check out the playlist, the videos, check out the channel membership. Appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves and peace.